In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on May 13, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Milwaukee Brewers versus Cleveland Guardians. It's Game 2 in a 4-game interleague clash between these two ball clubs, with the Milwaukee Brewers rolling into Cleveland to take on the Guardians Tuesday night. They're squaring off by the waters of Lake Erie, both trying to shake off rough weekends and get things moving in the right direction. The two starting pitchers taking the mound haven't exactly lit it up this year. Both own earned run averages north of 5 and have looked shaky recently. In their last 3 outings, they've each been shelled, sitting with earned run averages over 7 and WHIPs above 2. Between them, they've got the same number of wins in that stretch as you do, none. The Brewers haven't been much better on the road, sitting at just 8-14 away from home. And to make things worse, Priester got lit up the last time he faced Cleveland 2 years ago. Add in Milwaukee's unreliable bullpen, and this looks like a good spot for the Guardians to handle their business at home. As our fifth pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians money line is our full game side pick. Coming into Monday night, Milwaukee had seen the under hit in 24 of their 41 games this season, with 2 pushes in the mix. They're scoring 4.49 runs per game overall, which ranks 11th in the majors, and that number jumps to 4.95 when they are on the road. Games involving the Brewers are averaging 8.9 total runs this year, and when they're the visiting team, that number climbs all the way to 9.81. On the flip side, Cleveland had stayed under the total in 21 of their first 40 games, with 3 pushes along the way. The Guardians are putting up 4.1 runs per game, good for 17th in the league. But that drops to just 3.37 runs per game when they're at Progressive Field. Their games average 8.63 runs overall, and that figure shrinks to 7.16 when they're playing at home. Even so, with how rough both starting pitchers have looked lately, don't be surprised if this one turns into a slugfest. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Twins versus Baltimore Orioles. On Tuesday, the Minnesota Twins, sitting at 21-20 and currently 4th in the American League Central, will hit the road for Game 1 of a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. This matchup takes place at Camden Yards. The Twins have been red hot lately, putting together a string of 8 straight wins, with their latest coming in Sunday's game against the San Francisco Giants. Their momentum includes a sweep of the Orioles from May 6 to May 8, where they outscored Baltimore by a combined total of 19-5. Minnesota starter Simon Woods Richardson has been holding his own lately. He's pieced together 3 solid starts, giving up only 11 hits and 5 runs over 14.2 innings. Meanwhile, Baltimore's starter Cade Povich is coming off a rough outing, where he surrendered 6 hits and 5 earned runs in 6 innings, ending in a 9-1 loss to the Twins last Tuesday. Povich has now allowed 3 or more earned runs in 5 of his 7 starts this year. In that same game last week, Richardson limited the Orioles to just 5 hits and 2 runs in a 5-2 Twins win. As our first pick for this matchup, the Minnesota Twins money line is our full game side pick. Lately, the Twins have been leaning toward low-scoring games, with the under cashing in 4 of their last 5 matchups. That's been mostly due to their solid pitching, which carries a team earned run average of 3.32. But their bats are waking up too. Over the last 5 games, they've averaged 5.2 runs per game, including a 7-run burst in their most recent win over the Giants. Baltimore, on the other hand, finds itself on the opposite end of the scoring spectrum. The over has hit in 2/3 of their home games this season, mainly because their pitching has been a liability. They've got a team earned run average of 5.31 and are giving up 5.2 runs per game. Both starting pitchers in this matchup, Richardson with a 4.01 earned run average and Povich at 5.55, have struggled with command, combining to allow 24 walks and 13 home runs so far this season. That opens the door for early offense. Camden Yards is known to favor hitters, and and with both bullpens stretched thin in recent games, there's a real shot we'll see runs pile up late. Taking all of this into account, the over looks like a solid play. Minnesota's offense is coming to life, Baltimore can't seem to get outs, and the ballpark is built for scoring. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Red Sox versus Detroit Tigers. Two teams from the American League meet up for the second game of a three-game set on Tuesday night, with both clubs looking to pick up a win in Detroit. The Boston Red Sox are in town to face off against the Detroit Tigers, and both squads will try to build momentum as they battle it out on the field in the heart of the Motor City. When it comes to speed and base running, there's a big gap between these two clubs. Boston has shown a much more aggressive approach, tying the Pittsburgh Pirates for fifth in the league with 45 stolen bases on 54 attempts. On the flip side, Detroit sits at the very bottom of the majors with only 17 steals on 20 tries. That extra burst on the base paths also keeps Boston out of double play trouble, as they've only hit into 19 so far, tied with Kansas City for the fewest. Meanwhile, the Tigers have grounded into 27, the same number as the San Diego Padres. The Tigers might be tempting here based on how they've looked overall, but I've never liked bullpen games much. They just ask for too many different pitchers to get you across the finish line. Holton hasn't exactly impressed at home either. In just over 9 innings pitched at home, he's sporting a 4.82 earned run average, and opponents are hitting .278 against him. Bello, on the other hand, seems to be hitting his stride. Over his last 11.1 innings, he's allowed just 1 run and 8 hits. The Red Sox are a perfect 4-0 in games he started this season. We're not paying much for the more stable pitcher, and that's good value. As our first pick for this matchup, the Boston Red Sox money line is our full game side pick. Both bullpens have been keeping opposing hitters quiet once the starters exit. Boston relievers come in at 11th across the league with a 3.59 earned run average, while Detroit's bullpen has been even better, second best in the majors with a 2.72 earned run average. This kind of sharp pitching has continued into the month of May, where both teams have put up strong numbers. Through 10 games, Boston owns a 2.46 earned run average for the month, second only in the league, while Detroit has held their own with a 3.6 earned run average, good for 8. And when these two meet, runs tend to be at a premium. The under has cashed in 6 of their last 10 matchups. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago White Sox versus Cincinnati Reds. The Chicago White Sox, sitting at a dismal 12-29 record with a 19-22 mark against the over/under, are hitting the road Tuesday night for a matchup against the Reds at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Even though the Reds have been struggling lately, they're still the better team in this matchup, especially at home. That's why I'm leaning on them to get the job done on the moneyline Tuesday. Red starter Andrew Abbott has been solid, and he'll be going up against the coldest lineup in the league. Chicago is dead last in batting average and OPS, and they've hit just 29 home runs all season. Only Kansas City and Pittsburgh have fewer. Last season, the Reds swept the Sox and only gave up 5 total runs across the series. I think we see more of the same this time around. Like I've said for what feels like forever, the White Sox are a team we've been fading year after year, and for good reason. They've only managed back-to-back wins twice this season. Chris Flexen, who's set to pitch on the road, hasn't exactly been lights out either. He's sporting a 5.65 earned run average across 28.2 road innings and letting hitters get on at a .267 clip. That's not the kind of arm you want backing. The Reds, on the other hand, need to cash in on games like these if they want to snap out of their slump. Abbott hasn't given up a run in his last 9 innings and has held opponents to 1 run or fewer in 4 of his 5 starts. At home, he's thrown 9 innings with a 1 earned run average and a stingy .161 opponent batting average. No excuses for Cincinnati in a spot like this. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cincinnati Reds money line is our full game side pick. Even though Great American Ballpark is usually a hitter-friendly spot, I don't see either of these teams putting up much on Tuesday night. The Reds have been ice cold at home, with a .658 OPS that ranks 25th in the league and less than 1 homer per game in their own ballpark. They're also missing some key bats, with Novi Mart and Jake Fraley both out of the lineup. On the flip side, the White Sox haven't been lighting up the scoreboard either. They've gone under in 5 of their last 7 games and only managed to score more than 4 runs once during that stretch. When they're on the road, they've hit the under in 12 of 20 games. Cincinnati isn't much better, 8-10-1 to the under at home and 6-11-1 when playing as the favorite. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. St. Louis Cardinals versus Philadelphia Phillies. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Philadelphia Phillies are set to clash on Tuesday night at Citizens Bank Park. It's shaping up to be a solid battle between two strong National League teams. Both clubs have been playing good ball, and there's plenty to like on either side. It's not the kind of game you'd expect to be one-sided. With two rosters that can grind out wins in different ways, this one should stay interesting from the first pitch to the final out. Philadelphia gets a slight edge heading in, mostly because they're at home and built like a legit championship contender. Luzardo's also been sharp this year. He's given up just 11 earned runs across 47 innings, and he's punched out 51 batters along the way. Still, the Cardinals are on fire. They've won 9 straight and haven't allowed more than 2 runs in any of their last 6. On the mound, Gray has been getting it done too. His earned run average sits at 3.5, and he's got a 1.08 WHIP in his most recent start. He blanked the Pirates over 7 innings. Until the Cardinals cool off, there's no reason to bet against them, especially with the better value on the board. They came through for us last night. As our first pick for this matchup, the Philadelphia Phillies money line is our full game side pick. In their first series this season, these teams combined to score just 4.7 runs per game, and the under cashed in every outing. The Cardinals even shut out the Phillies twice and only gave up 4 runs over the full 3-game set. St. Louis wasn't lighting it up offensively either, managing just 10 total runs. Coming into this matchup, Philadelphia's offense has been a little inconsistent. They scored 3 or fewer in 2 of their last 3 games over the weekend. Gray is fresh off his best performance of the year, and he's got the kind of stuff to keep Philadelphia guessing. Luzardo has had some hiccups at home, but he's done a good job limiting the damage when it counts, and that should continue here. The under has hit in 8 of the last 10 matchups between these two, with 1 push. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.